We plead that you forgive us, that we are late, actually due to 1 or 2 technical problems. We promise that we will stick to our time next time we come online. Once again, we want to say a very big thank you to our father, Apostle George Chumas, week Saturday. Caris Ladies Conference.
Wow. Incha, in my papa, Apostle George Chumas, Yankane, my Lady Reverend Irene Chumasi, thank you. Okay, Lady Reverend, and that's what you do. Have a conflict with the self. Obi betimi have a conflict with himself or herself. You are dealing with, know your partner before you know which of these steps are obey you see, and as approaches obey you see to resolve conflict with the person. So that is with the indirect approach. Sometimes if you really want to resolve an issue between yourself and your partner, sometimes sometimes maybe feel said.
Having time, taking time.
Chaos and anxiety and everything in the home. Then eventually, then leads to a divorce. And they say there was a misunderstanding and a disagreement and a conflict, and I said misunderstanding nearby. It was a phone end to me, and I said why phone end to me and resolve it. Then it leads on nothing the our jaya abba and our go abba. It's important anytime there will be a conflict, I was say yetimit na find a means a bit to me resolve it na a day asumdwe abefie na entiase aye juma. Now we mentioned 4 main types of conflict resolution. Now the first one I the direct conflict resolution, and I said direct method Now the direct method and you Matthew chapter 18 verse 15 said, so when you are born here, now then away between the two of you, then now figure when you are 1 year to me patch next time and yen is now some yaba montem direct. And like I say another one, and so the principle of the third person. The principle of the third person in Matthew chapter 18 verse 16, Or say okwan in direct na senti asan ye djuma akopo bi ka ho. That means me no mi enu enya asem na se yentimi anka maso bi amba. Then we can involve a third person. Na afi the third person be mu ana yetumi resolve it, because e be a third person no be ba na very for. Ana so bi a ye nyina ye di need ye ma no. So ye panyin bi ana so woni die bi ntino. Odina no betumu a na wo say yetumi jai bi ama eno ka. Now you can say the third one and see the indirect the indirect I know na own kind of direct, but as someone said you can na ono ka say we say article 4 are na fe wa dream ho no we say no ade am ye die anko yi ntimi nkopacho that is the indirect. And then the fourth one you can the time factor approach. Time factor is where when it's a minor disagreement or a minor conflict, sometimes we want to leave it for time to heal, because time heals wounds. You leave it, then after some time you realize that the conflict dies out on its own. Based on this principle, say my internet because as somebody buy any day, the man can't mean to mean that. There are some of the things that you just allow time to pass, and then with time, the conflict will be resolved. Then we also came to, I think, with that, the indirect you see indirect, when you want to apply wisdom, you use the indirect approach. Sometimes when you are dealing with somebody who is higher than you, or be in an authority or something, mention the scenario of David and Odifo Nathan. Odifo Nathan on Yamesman said, Uncle Yi David attend, say we didn't say who. At that time, not David was in authority, he was a king, he was the king of the land. And he said, oh, corners or kind of direct such or he say, or he why ABCD, I want to ever call. And then Nathan had to employ the indirect means to try and carry the message across. After that, now David and Kasa, on one Kasa, Ebu, as I'm not for saying you, only 4 years, and 1 year. Nathan saying, you are. That video, on one Kasa, Yaban, who to say, ye is asking me about ye. Net Odi for the article for Army. That is the indirect method, we also mentioned with the direct method, you should know who you are dealing with. Okay, there are people that, say, assembly banner director, one share, I'll be blue now ye be before, because cocaine, abia, assembly crana, cocano, assembly said, feel say, be a bit me away, a bit me resolving, on those who saying, you said your can, no one can ye, assembly say. You should know who you are dealing with, the person you are dealing with, know your partner before you know which of these steps are you see, and as approaches you see to resolve conflict with the person. So that is with the indirect approach, sometimes if you really want to resolve an issue between yourself and your partner, sometimes sometimes maybe feel say I want to find a means to resolve the conflict between myself and my partner. You can get a gift. You don't need to sit down. Merely get a gift. Maybe a when you said Obaa or a particular thing. Maybe a particular shoe be, a particular bag be, maybe a particular kind of food be, or chocolate, or so and so flowers. Flowers. And now say she's a fan of pizza, she's a fan of chocolate, she's a fan of so and so. You know your spouse, so you know the ope. So Obaa anyway, Banku, okay, Banku ni tilapia. Obaa no, wa sheda no wa ji Banku na tilapia da so say the tini. Ya die. So Obaa e do fie pe no so Obaa na je ma to o favorite abreo Banku ni tilapia. Who's our show egu ahome or show egu ahome asem na ekono indirectly why resolve conflict so all those ones means obetimi afa or the resolve conflict. Last week we also mentioned that the indirect, as part of the indirect, maybe you would want to ask for a stroll, you stroll with the person and then maybe so and so but when you say, Okudi Bonnie, it's no pequia befaso, Akoma beba from it. Uncoja metia, Mr. Wager, Mr. Wadaroma, who do a china some moba. We are own country, but on one person who say, a jamo person befino, no number. So, sometimes maybe you ask her to, we are not talking about it in terms of, but I'm trying to make it clear. Maybe in a situation where you want to resolve the conflict but you don't want to use the direct approach. If you be free, you might be no one no journey come on. The mekucho mukura one say inchini choma one we make attempt no one 7 come on any idea. Maybe I be one ma obeba na nkuku ni nyina no twitwi ni nyina mu. You see, all those ones are indirect forms of resolving conflict. If you really cherish the relationship, then you should do everything possible to resolve the conflict. You do the dishes, you clean the home. Anyway, it does not make you less of a man, actually. And then the other way around, there are things that if you're banning na from, that's what I say indirectly, apologize and that's a resolving conflict now. Maybe there are things that some of the responsibilities say be a bear or shoulder no. She will decide say okay this month I will take up, I'll pay the light bill. No, it does not mean no. But those ones are all indirect means of resolving issues between partners. Until you know who you are dealing with, and then you know how to go about resolving conflict between yourselves if you really cherish the relationship. Yeah. So.
Wow. All right. So you had our father. Say, Dana is na unim afei na wa bemwa eno na your papa at church muno. We still talking about conflict resolution. Yes. And what conflict is and now what conflict resolution is. Two different things. Your papa at church mu what train types maybe and wa yeah to waso and then I can say the part 2 bedroom no yeah to waso into say question be say what year a recap of what happened the last time we met. You've had him question be around feel free, just send it to our WhatsApp line 0247 90 79 30. All right. Yes, and I can hear that also. Daddy, they say types, What my Ebia Sunni Munchiremu. They say near Pessia who say conflict, like conflict areas in marriage, What are some of the conflict areas in marriage? Okay.
Conflict areas in marriage, in fact, there are so many of them. I just mentioned a few now. For it to me a follow. Now, one of the areas that conflict type bapa the area of finance. Sikasem there. In fact, udi agra sikasem begu awari. Who is supposed to pay what? Who is supposed to pay which bill and all that? Sometimes it may be a lot of conflict, but say ebia be man feel say obane muame. Obaa so feel say be man muame. No, after the Obia Munati away na Obia fan it brings a whole lot of issues in the marriage. One of the conflict areas our wife should know how to handle finance because the issues even between families the issues one of the bone of contention even sometimes in your workplace, in your just say even in church, sometimes you have issues with finance. So if we are keep scanning, we are scanning, so you see. So in the family, between the man and the woman, one area normally may generate a lot of conflict. Where and a typical example where maybe the woman works, the man also works, and then maybe a bear man feels saying about mame 10 Ghana. Oba say me be wo fi ha. O je show. Me wants to be crowd me home. Then the woman goes out and the man not to show more no say sex can share and panity for your baby. So I got you be a frame. I feel your body by no kind scanning pet. Scanning so. Be must scan away. So nisika. And no other conflict about no. I say be man na ko wi oba no so niska. International asema ba no. You see, we say I can if they are not able to resolve it, no man to me and finding means omo be kan ho asem yi a be generating into a whole lot of issues and she are not the big so finance is one area na the issues be about. Now secondly another area a bit me generate a lot of conflict in a marriage. Now the issue of sex preference. One thing about sex preference, naturally, men have a higher interest or a higher attraction for sex, unlike women. There are exceptions. Actually, there are women who are Okay, we use the word no overboard. There are some women who are, so those ones are exceptions. Apart from that, men crave for the act more than women. Okay. So in an event where the man is craving, the woman says, you can imagine what will happen. A lot of conflict. There may be a lot of people that won't mean coca. Century we as we could do better coca. Won't mean car. I catch your wine. Actually, wine. Won't mean car. It's any and then we'll TV na no who na hipa. Or no kwa obenya. So also it's not as simple as it seems. Okay. Issues are when it borders on relationships in a way, and the man says, I want it every day. The woman says, you have it twice in a week. Imagine the kind of pressure if they are not able to resolve it peacefully. No, you see. So the preferences, the couple should be able to manage the preferences properly. Otherwise, there will be a lot of conflict in the family. I will not go deep into it because there may be children watching us. So let's end it there. Maybe with time, we'll treat that one into details. Maybe a bit deeper into the night. And so another area, a conflict ever. The area of who is the head of the family. Okay, who is the head of the family? Now, it is important for couples in a relationship or in marriage to understand their roles. Rules are Bema play and rules are Obaa play. So it does not matter who the woman is, the amount of money she has. If she's the one paying all the bills, whatever, she's still the woman. Yeah. Then the man is still the man. When you try to overturn the rules, there will be conflict. Naturally, even if Bermani is Jimmy, and you try to make him a woman in the home. Don't see Yamani because now I'm not saying sometimes you want to help your wife, you want to do some cooking, you want to do dishes, it's fine. I'm not saying so and yet boy, yeah, it's okay. But when the woman decides say after the men scanner until the me pen abe you fi have me, and it means after the Obaa na better than Bema na better than Obaa. For some time, maybe because of Bema no ho chile no na only you be only if you want to hunt Obe brain wants to say Obe penny, but the time will come that innate ego in a man will come out, and the marriage may not survive because Bema will be who say me who actually minti after you fed your banner yemi. You said or take me, Johnny Crab, me decrampono, or mammy Janya no perform Nama Coche, some Anchina Cobadia Pefigu. You see all those things, no, who ye nan or she. Thou no Benyan in age national known to Nebium. You get it? If that is the situation there, then we should know the roles of the wife, the roles of the husband. Naturally, the husband is supposed to be the head, and the woman is supposed to be the helpmeet. Okay. So in that regard, we should acknowledge our roles in the marriage, and then we stay to it or we stick to it. If there is a disorder where we want to shift the rules, there will be conflict. Okay, there will be conflict. Now, if the woman is receiving more salary than the man, or if the woman is more educated than the man, it does not give you the permission to misbehave. So you give the respect that you want to give to your husband, and then the husband in turn gives you the love that he's supposed to. Well, I don't agree. Sometimes people say, oh, if the woman is the one paying the bills, then you should allow the woman to operate in which angle? Which angle are you operating? I don't agree. It's not biblical. If the woman is paying the bills, it does not make the woman the husband or the man. Okay, you can pay all the bills, but the bills now which you are not does not qualify you to be the husband. You may be paying the bills because of one or two things. Into them, I am there was a ceremony idea. But it does not change the rules. So don't change the rules to bring about any form of conflict in the marriage. Otherwise, you eventually know there will be so much issues. Say one day our end go. When the man feels disrespected by the woman, the bema or feel said Obaa mume no way no or don't call. You know what I mentioned the other day said what men see or what men feel as love is respect. There is nothing you can do for a man or value more than to respect and submit to his authority. Okay, you can give the man a car, you can give him a building, or the man a dime, and when no. What I say? You know, in that regard, no, that is why the Bible says that the woman should submit. So the man sees your submission as love. If you don't submit to the man, you don't love him. No. And then the other way around too, when the Obaa no, when you cannot sacrifice for her. No. So women value sacrifice as love. You know, yeah, love, I love you. I want to make or someone and we just but the or bus is here. Remember when you say when you cool, when you money when I'm better for her and family home. You see, when you do that, the woman knows you are not sacrificing, you cannot sacrifice. No, that not that in that context alone, but the woman should see you say you are trying to secure a future or something for them. Okay, in that woman say, oh, you are working hard. You maybe are resources in the you are trying to put things together. You are trying to. She knows you are sacrificing for her and for the children. At least she knows. Say, oh yes, Sani, it shows how much you love them. You love her, you love the children, and all that. You see, that is how women see. That is the definition of love. It's one of the reasons why sometimes on TSC, no say or baby no akofa, baby we smoke a bit. There may be our share. Now then the who cry anyway. All because a body a 2 year dinner or can say with a bema be the person is there. Or you already say and you say your bar will and you meet your kunipa and your bema will your domain. You see, so that's not a good example anyway, but because who sacrifice no unipa own tia say that type of person. But on him say the person is willing to sacrifice for me, Odome. It's no dinechi. When we be a country currency, on your sacrifice no who in the money. Or himself be sacrifice when it comes to difficulties and also when West comes to West. That be man be sacrifice into Odome. It's no mean anymore. You see, so we should understand these rules. And then if you are able to understand it, to understand who should be the head, who should be supporting. Okay. Then in that regard, ebema entiasia ayejuma. So when you shift away from your role and you want to pick up another person's role, it means that role no Adam Pine. So there will be disorder. Oh, entiasia ayejuma. Now the issues they bring about. Another thing that a conflict about the issue of extended family, how we work around with them. Okay, so if when we get married, we don't say you're worried into extended family into me my change. Okay, when you think like that, you are mistaken, because in any case, baby basi siya na you run to the family.
Yeah.
Mene Obaa no bema ete. Na se bema no ka se meje mempe obusuafo. Mempe se obusuafo bia besi ha. Na se bibi ba obekwa ko obusuafo amane. You understand that? And when it happens like that in so then it means opamo obusuafo ni nyina da you also need them a burden so benyomo. You should acknowledge the role of the extended family. There shouldn't be too much interference in the marriage. We should leave the couples to marry, no interference. The situation where even the couples can make a decision. It makes the marriage difficult. Okay, so you don't interfere too much, but you should also acknowledge, in as much as the two of you are married, you married each other from the individual families. Family involvement in the back. The parents of the woman will come and visit, the parents of the man will come and visit. But if it happens that we can tolerate the family of one party, the other party need the Obaa there will be conflict. Okay, so we should acknowledge the rules of the two families, two parties. Say me say me busuafo for ba ye be ya momo no. The other party is busuafo for ba. I will say a momo. So the way I would create the environment, make the environment conducive for everybody to be happy and all that. When it happens to the other side, it should also happen the same way. Ironically, I mentioned the other day, said, our for worry be na say parents no be be for a be man mame. Me num ye against ya na me man mame for na ya no mata ya be for. I mean, me say that she be chechim, ye be hwehwe mu ye ni a chechim. Aha. Oba ne mame de bia o. Aha, but be man mame na ya tie be for me nim ntia. Bia obi wo partner each other so that you can find a solution. Whether you are at fault and answer the other party knowing they are at fault, you must collaborate and work at finding a solution.
All right, so as I said, yeguso, yeah, bosoko, enche kra na ye di jume di ni na aba na wiye anne enche ne di jume di ni na aba na wiye. We are talking about strategies to consider in conflict resolution. Papa, what about strategies these week? Are there any best ways be able to resolve it?
Also, let me mention just two or three things now on that one. Now, the first thing is that anytime there's a conflict between yourself and your spouse, analyze your past relationship. Analyze. That's the first thing. Also, before our Libya, if we do pempensoa, issues so the couples would have spent very good time together, some quality time together. Okay. Before you got married, the way you were so nice with the person, the way you were, in fact, papa no mama kind crowd so open. So when you because when you're bema way, then all of a sudden maybe a bema na for. Then after you say, oh, me fan channel. You forgotten, say, you had some good times together in the past. Okay? So once you had good times together in the past, then it means that when you begin to encounter bad times too, you must acknowledge it and then you work at it. So you must analyze your past relationship with the person. The person has been good to me, the person has respected me, the person has I am looking at how I used to relate with the person previously, onye ni paboni ni sa but e bi asemi na aba or how bi na aba e bi krampa na me so krampo na sakrai bi abo abrabo mu ni ade e bi a onipa no krampo na nam ne so ne e bi a wenye adwuma bi ye ni we na. You must analyze all those things. Then and next of whom you don't say ne wa form media anye dia aba ni na no me to agu. So if you're able to analyze it in that context, it helps you to forgive the person. Onipana ye me papa bebre, Onipano has treated me well. The relationship has been very, very nice previously. Even Michiana to 10 years and now say 15 years, the person has dealt with me so nicely. It is a ne ebia from so bia ba e won ho a menka say no ntimi yi ni to twene. Okay, so analyzing the past relationship is very important. Obi bia no ushia no first when you met the person it was so nice. Imagine your wedding we no on the night of your wedding it was so nice. It was so nice. What I say. Then all of a sudden you've been going about with the person after from soccer club. Okay, and paying for mungwa wari If the past ones, nice ones, you don't remember any of them. Okay. No, secondly, remember the good things that Unipanaya Mount. I was reading a book in psychology. The psychologist says, when people are offended, they the subconscious memory is shut down. Subconscious memory known as equipe events ne activities are happening over the period. You know, onipani, like the subconscious memory is shut down. It is no more working. So you can only remember what has happened now, but you cannot remember what happened previously. So when people are offended, they don't remember the past. They only happen because the subconscious memory is shut down. And it's true. Anytime people get offended at others, no, they forget say onipa na me papa be in the past. The papa onipa ya yo nyina ebi kwampa. Enye ono a anka ebi kwanka wewu. Enye ono anka ebi kwampa anka o de fiase. Enye ono anka ebi kwampa anka the papa be ase. Then all of a sudden the person offends you. Then you say because of this offense in Timini Yaka. You've forgotten all the good things onipa na ya in the past. So you must always keep records of the good the person has done. Then ene offendewa say papa waye minti me you to twene papa waye minti bonya waye min na me jacho. Okay, no, I listened to one man of God. I was so touched. He said he has this associate pastor. That associate pastor the person, yes, sir, associate pastor said you would remain amongst yourselves. It remains between the two of you and resolve it.
But not because I'll be you see again.
Yeah. It's better to resolve the issue without a person getting involved. It's very important. Very, very.
Okay, God bless you so much, Reverend Evan. And this message is from Iraba Oyemam. Iraba, God bless you for joining us. I say, good evening, my people. I'm late, but with you in spirit. God bless you so much, Sister Iraba Oyemam.
Yes, it should be in the
Sure. Sure. Inti pacho, baby biara obiano, and kaiboi and kratui. Me jadi say what say. Once ya me kai o me frewa kachero. And next week, viewers, definitely we will have Iraba Oyemam in the studio. Wow. Okay. Inchia kesian so enkoma Abigail Odamia. Meaning say baby awo no ekwan wa hoton. I duty call. Adwuma ne de ye frewa naija. American center now they call. And into the minimum say, oh yeah, Juma, oh boy, Juma Panyami unshroud. We assign if we ever never. I say, Daddy, I also think that if we always compromise, then we will find it difficult to talk about issues. So, because if you have compromised yesterday when there was an issue, why don't you compromise today as well? So I think we must use each strategy to solve different issues.
So it depends on the issue.
Okay.
The issue there now. So there are issues that you need to deal with them. Deal with the issue that is dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah, now. It's better to deal with it once and for all. So it depends on the situation and the approach that is relevant.
All right. Okay. So God bless you all for watching and then for staying with us. Yeah, Andale. Miniaba. I am Waba. Main can cafe, investor mechanic baby. Major disaster call for you now. What's the if you pour so? Waba, yo, Yami shall be brave, Miniaba said, or saying. Also, so I will fear our brow saying, name or comment, Amba, Munina, Yankopon, Unshamupa, say, more join me and then so. All right, so. Maybe some last question. Na, yeah, the energy mediano, SC. Dangers and mepe chi bi aka. Dina ebesi se menu nya asem na ya nhwe ensiesia. Then ebesi me dia ba.
Let me mention it in this direction. Obaa worry for unity. Nunyo yere. Asemba na se is a yem. Na say asem. Yeme implement na se mayen ka me hwe mayen solve asem. Now, one of the things that is so common when it happens like that is that there's break in communication. And you know, once there's a break in communication, marriage is dead. Marriage is dead. Because communication is one of the life wire marriage. Without communication, marriage is very still. You know, there'll be breaking communication.
We have to
the baby.
We have phone. We have phone.
So there's an issue where the man felt Obaa afumuno. You know, meaning kasa. The woman tries to make peace. The man is saying, "Me for you." The why you know I am a yapa. He said, "I said no, Johnny. Me buy no. Okay, me say we need that Johnny. So far bomb." Barney tried to complain, tried to explain. Now, unfortunately, that night, because of the buffalo crying, that man didn't feel bad enough. So, another room. Section upon the buffalo. That man sorry, one confession or Barney trip. Guy, so this is a true story. Nipa na asem ne phone no akasa ne fro. So uja ne hokọ adwuma. Hokọ adwuma mu no wadwuma ma ewia. Nipa we andra na all pametro we. The whole day maintaining the whole day. You know, wadwuma mu na it dawned on him say, then I don't know maintaining at least an can pay crown. I imagine say or make he approach to be patch one can pay me the better. And this time around I say no so was through on person be patch. You know he decided say in your best friend at least now with Tizino the lady into apologizing and then yes obey. So he got worried to fear Jumemo area for the first. I didn't know because at least if for nothing at Panka or be Juma nti ofie adwuma obae no time ofi fia ko no ebufu nti oni so oba no be sorry do ko no wan kupuni na do na no da ho dai no so oba no sorry oba so ofie adwuma obae na do na no da ho sara do ja no na say enya den owura dem no ko oba no ho no obae na da life apparently no oba no ye asthmatic so the stress of the whole issue no you make the room na Baninya asthmatic. As before some tokabo the woman tried to pour severally at night. Then man feel yeah, the Obaa no a lifeless body. That is when he realized that little thing uncle was on enemy to resolve the issue. Minor conflict can resolve in bigger issues and all. Now he has this was a woman that he really loved. So the caption for that write up, how I lost my lovely wife through a minor conflict. So because of a small thing, Uncle bet me I resolve it within the ahia na obedi. It is Obaa Konadu apparently the woman wasn't feeling well the whole day. That's why she couldn't cook. But explanation. Broke so much even when the plane or minty, apologize, minty, the zoom, when on me now he came to meet everybody. So when there's a break in communication, so there can be so many issues. So we fail to resolve conflict, there will be a break in communication. And look at the consequences in this situation. So we should try to resolve conflict to avoid all these dangers. Now, when there's conflict, the environment in the home is so hostile. and the environment is not friendly. Probably you are couples, maybe go together, maybe money. When there's a conflict and you've not resolved it, until you resolve it, the environment is so hostile. You feel cramp, you don't feel at ease in any way. Be anxious, be alert, to be stepping on another person's toes. So the hostility in the home is not good for the psyche of the man, the woman, even the children in the home. Okay? Assembly bar, anytime there's a conflict, would it be more difficult to also suffer the consequences? Also, you are not comfortable. It's not a comfortable feeling at all. It's not only beam there, but assembly bar until you resolve it, you are not at peace.
Okay.
You are not at peace. You will affect you. Yes, for cardia was one of the reasons why I suffer bro. Ukushia Obaa Konadu you say into come fear they affect your software. So if she wants to have her own way every time she tries to bring up issues anyway, then she has to must have a way. So when it happens like that, the two of you will suffer because the environment is hostile. Or how point me can change your uncle. If you are in a marriage without the friendly atmosphere, so you feel imprisoned. Okay, you feel imprisoned because you are restricted. So you cannot even have a straight thought. All that the environment is so hostile. It affects both of you. So when you are not thinking straight, it affects your productivity and your ability to function. So it's necessary, say, you resolve the conflict. Okay. Then I would also mention, for failing to resolve conflict, a lot of people have been separated. Okay, so because you mean can't say so they are married, you go away because you need to resolve it issue. Because will be answering the baby. That. And eventually, it can lead to a divorce. 100% every divorce, all divorces was because there was an issue that was not resolved. Yes, every divorce was because there was an issue. Or you try to say Becca but it was not resolved. And eventually Becca said maybe I knew. So every form of divorce is as a result of failed conflict resolution methods. You resolve it. This to divorce. So these are some of the dangers of failing or not resolving conflict relationship. So marriage company divorce today. Normal ordinary relationship. By the time I'm becoming a two-quarter yeah. So these are some of the dangers.
Wow. Oh, yeah, Breno, I agree. Now, me just say, wow, joining us on the West here, and you might be brave. Into Mr. Say, Assemba, a nipa near baby, Rebecca. Into the thing, say, Obama, I asem Kessie, and I say, Obel, third party, the Amana Bem, what channel? Yeah, Papa, I can say, Assemba, our reform. Have it in your mind, say divorce, mad divorce, and your option, mad divorce, and your option, try your possible best. Say, me name a partner, your best nothing, ya can't, na assume abba. Then we move on. The earlier, the better. Into and chain at some ebicane, keeps away be, and money, at them cast ye na alpha or how. And then near my baby amber. Because I know one how Nemomin Colanes is what a woman. Oh, how most so. Mr. September fear. Yenshe, Nayan Snassi. Minu mean, Naya for ye and 2 years. Okay, so I've been your host, Obaa Konadu. Yeah, Breno, Echo Baby. Next week, you be sign at the different topic at the abril. You know, with my father here, and we are sharing news the next week. Yami adumasani papa kayeno. You be share. Oye mam na ye no aba studio ha say. You know, next week here ebe bubuja. Stay with us next week, 7 o'clock on the dot. We will bring you my warrior. International na sorry so no papa. Ubechia adofo na ya kona ye breno. Aye breno.
In shame with the phone na one of my mad so. But now no ma. I'm out for a share. Yeah, papa. Yeah, ma. Did you ever? Yeah, nah, yeah, Reverend. Me, mammy, Abena. Did you ever? I'm fully recovered.
Oh,
Didn't say anything. You did the family.
the baby, I
Yeah, Mamma, did you recovery? You Reverend. After what you did, we shall the papa. Yeah. Yes, of course. Your cry. That be done.
that be there was it. That you.
And that be done. Jennifer, you must be there, ma. Very supportive. Look at me and your grandpa. The friend will be as the name muscle. I will stand for next walk with the food government hospital. Near to your phone. That will be unquestioned.
Amen. Okay, into Nathaniel Papa Ekaya and Yakopo Isra. Yashafo, Yatiafo, Yadofo, more Abontia Moshe, more and Mama, my warrior, I am my warrior, because the man saying, Yabesana Hanoma, Yabekasa Egukwa. I am Empress Gifty, you came along, Yami own shroud. Theophilus Abrokwa, it's a powerful message. Yami own shroud, so Theophilus, so Bekaya. Intino, made it in Chiakia, and after that, and come production team ponina. Memory na I brain to me body to munina make us and Yakopo on sham name medin back dear. You know, say me bo and son my story at the free to ready. So Reverend Evans Agbanyaga Eliklim, Papa me own shall be brave. So I've been your wonderful host, Obaa Konadu, and it's my warrior. Next week, you best sign Abawa Coin so Yami own shall. Bye bye.